Good evening everybody, welcome to the studio this evening. I've got a visitor tonight, and he's a visitor that insists on going to sleep exactly where he is, or laying down. For some reason he really wants to be with me tonight, it seems, even to the point of he was laid on the tracker ball and everything else, and there's all sorts of stuff going all over on my desk, and yet he still wants to be there. Mm. Mm. Ah dear, good evening everybody, those of you that are watching. This is going to be an interesting stream because we have a visitor, as you sort of can see. Let's see if I can make him a little bit more visible. There we go. My webcam isn't fantastically good for doing this. Well, this particular webcam isn't. But he's decided to visit the studio. And I know you guys would much rather see this pussycat than see me, so there he is. I can't show you his face, I'm afraid, just because I can't put a camera there. Well, you can see his face on this camera rather than that one over there. But he has, this evening, he's pushed the keyboard off the desk, he laid on the tracker ball, which proved very interesting trying to do anything, and I'm going to have fun trying to do anything with this, so eventually we may end up having to persuade him to go somewhere else for the evening. But at the moment he looks like he's really interested in staying exactly where he is. And since he very rarely actually comes to see me, and very even less rarely lays where he is there, he's going to get priority tonight. So at the moment, the artwork which you can sort of see, I'll move the camera in a minute so you can see more of it, is where we got up to. We've finished the grass on this side, and I did say tonight that I would try and put some black ink, sorry, some green ink, some green ink on the on this artwork on the grass, and just see whether it quite how it works, because I've never used colour on Scraperboard before. No, you don't. I don't want claws on there. Your claws are sharp enough. Your claws are sharp enough to scratch that board, pussycat. So this is going to be kind of fun. So it'll be kind of fun with a pussycat that wants to take part in what I'm doing, because no doubt he will if I'm not careful. I can't. Right, I'm kind of struggling with camera angles now because because of the pussycat, and to let you see him on the camera there. So, oh, right. The oh right was because this bottle is a dropper bottle. I was hoping it was a normal ink bottle. I could just dip the brush into, but it's not, so I will put a couple of drops of ink into this actually it's a shot glass, but it's a plastic glass that I use for mixing airbrush painting. So let's hope. So let's see what happens now. I've got some on the brush, so I'm just going to paint green here over the grass. Never done this before, so you could say you're seeing history in the making. We're going to find out just what it looks like once this is done and dried. And I hope this pussycat looks really tired at the moment. He came in meowing at me, which when he meows he usually means he wants something, but then he just sat where he was and eventually he literally almost just collapsed like that. I don't know if he's feeling a bit warm because it's rather humid around here at the moment. So I'm only using a small paintbrush because that's what I happen to have in front of me. It actually wasn't the one I intended to use, because I haven't realised that that paintbrush that I intended to use is actually elsewhere on the desk. I thought this was it, but this is not bad. It's colouring this quite nicely. Interesting that the colour is almost exactly the correct grass colour. I don't know if that's been done on purpose or just purely accidentally, because it's nice vibrant green. Interesting, it's somewhat dark all of a sudden down here. Okay, slightly off. I've got to be a bit careful because I'll knock the face cam if I move this board around too much. But I'll try and keep it visible in frame. Now just down here, it's really absorbing the colour. Oh, you get up now, dear. Now that I've started broadcasting, you get up. Now that I can get to my mouse, or could get to my mouse, I can't see you anymore. You're going back to sleep. There you go, bit better view of him. Now, you are being a diva tonight, aren't you? You're making it so these people can't see you. like one of these music artists that sort of hide the face from the cameras. And that's what he thinks of you guys. I don't think it's anything personal though, he does it to me as well. Don't you? He's busy washing now. Since I'm running a fan just under the desk, it's probably cooled off and feels a bit more awake. He's now staring at my screen. He's not watching anything in particular, but he sometimes will. And of course, you can have great fun with a cat if it's watching a computer screen, because you can just move the mouse and they'll follow it around the screen for hours on end. Now all he's done is he's just laid down, so you're looking at his back, but he might turn round, or he might just go to sleep like that. If he goes to sleep like that, I'll turn the camera around and point it back at me, but I know you're more interested in seeing him. Josie, oh blimey. Okay, I'm going to have a go at pronouncing this. Josie Riaga. Josia Riaga 1. Thank you very much. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Most cats seem to be a little bit vain sometimes. He's actually curled up now. He was facing the other way, but he is actually one of the models that for quite a few pieces that I've done in the past. One of which was done on stream. A pyrography piece that was done a little while ago now. That's one of the models. I'm not sure whether we'll get the other one. They don't tend to follow each other around, so we probably won't see the other one tonight. I assume that was in reference to me attempting to say your name. I apologise. It's if you have a way you prefer me to try and say it, then please let me know. This is Scraperboard I'm working on, and this is grass, which I am. It's the first time I've tried colouring Scraperboard. Mind you, having said which, this is only the third piece of Scraperboard I've ever done. So this is an interesting experiment from my point of view. But it looks quite nice, to say it's. I'm not doing any mixing or anything with this ink. It is an ink, so it's a stain rather than paint. or rather it's a dye rather than paint to give it a proper title. But it's producing quite a nice looking effect, really. And one that sort of really does rather resemble grass, which I am glad about. I'm kind of wondering whether it's going to get a little bit patchy if I don't actually make it a smooth application, but we'll see when it dries. I can always add some more. That's apparently one of the nice things about this is you can just keep adding ink, or scrape it over the top of the ink, add more ink. So I might have a go, see what happens. And that pussycat is going to go to sleep like that, so in a moment I'll turn the face cam around. There's not much to see from the back end of a pussycat. He's managed to upset the complete studio in order to be able to lay there. So, and just before the stream starts, that's when he arrived and insisted he was going to lay where he is. I've got my hand in the way, haven't I? Apologies for that. I'm really rather amazed at just how far this ink is going. There was literally 2 drops of ink in this plastic glass, and I'm really quite amazed at just how much of it I've managed to do. Looking though, I can't actually tell when it's dry. I'm getting various shades of green, obviously to do with how much ink I've left on the surface. That is contributing quite nicely to the grass effect. I think I'm going to need another drop of ink. Okay, well, before I go further with that, let me just move things around a little bit so that I've got a little bit more room to work now that this pussycat has gone to sleep. So excuse the shaky camera whilst I adjust things. So hello and good evening. Welcome. So now you get to see me rather than the back end of a pussycat. Quite whether that's any different, I'm not quite sure, but I'll leave that up to you guys. So I now need a little bit more ink in here, so I'm just going to put one drop. And that was one drop. The ink is going quite a bit further than I expected. Although I'm not quite sure what I did expect, but now if I am going over the black at the top there on the path, and obviously I'm going over the black here as well in between the grass blades. The ink isn't really kind of showing up because it's on a black background. It's you're not really seeing where the ink overlaps. Mind you, I am trying not to go silly over the top of the black, just in case it does show up a little bit. I have no idea whether it will or not. As I mentioned earlier, this is the first time I've ever used coloured ink on Scraperboard. So you're getting to see a real life experiment for the first time. This is, in some ways, this is kind of like the adverts that you sometimes see, which are black and white, and then there'll just be something, probably the subject of the advert, which is in colour in the middle of it. This is kind of a bit like that, really. Everything's in black and white, apart from this bit of grass. All this green is doing is it's being absorbed into the porcelain clay, which is what the white is. It's the underlay, or the underlying material underneath the black, and it's staining the top surface of that porcelain clay. It's not supposed to be sinking very far into it. So what I can do afterwards is I can then apply more scratches, which will then show white through the green. I'm not actually sure whether I need to do that or not. Maybe down this bottom edge here, because it looks a bit dark. So it may well be worth scratching a little bit more around the bottom edges, where I haven't been particularly consistent about getting the same scratch density. Now then, I'm just going to look through this. Some places are light, but maybe add a little bit of more so we get a bit of variation in colour. So we just get some like darker bits of the grass. Plus what I'm doing here is I'm doing my usual trick. I don't want to waste the ink that's in the bottom of here, and I can't really use it. I can't really put it back in the bottle because it's a dropper bottle. So the only way of using it is literally to use it here on the artwork. So I'm a bit of a skinflint really sometimes when it comes to materials. I don't like wasting them. Now I suppose technically speaking it's not wasting it, you know, from that perspective. I've used it, but and it's a little bit left over, but and I had no way of not getting it out of the bottle, so to speak, but it just feels a bit like I'm wasting it if I don't use it all. There we go. Now if you guys will excuse me just a moment, I'm going to do is just rinse this brush out because I don't want it to stain green, so I shall be back in a moment. Okay, I've now got a clean paintbrush. One of the nice things about dye-based stuff like ink though is that once it's dry it's kind of like indelible ink. Whilst the paintbrush may be green, it won't contaminate any other colour. So that's one of the advantages of it. Now then, that looks to me as though it's still drying. Either it's shiny, one or the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this upside down because I want to do some work on the path, for which I need my gloves so I don't get finger marks on the blackboard. That grass is a bit patchy. You might have to do some more, a little bit more ink on it at some point. There are sort of marks on it which may or may not look okay later. Has my stream frozen? I've just realised that the my Twitch output window that I'm looking at has frozen. and I now have absolutely no idea whether I'm broadcasting, because Twitch is doing its thing again of trying to show me an advert which it doesn't find, and I can't see it. So Twitch won't show me my outgoing stream, which is completely annoying. So if there's anybody watching that is actually seeing, and I'm still broadcasting okay, I would be grateful if you'd let me know. Okay. Are you going to continue to show that stream? Yes, it is. It looks like I might be okay. Good. Twitch has been problematical for the past couple of... Our stream's frozen again. Why is that happening? Right, don't know what's going on here. I do not know what's going on, whether Twitch is actually broadcasting me or not, since the output stream seems to freeze. I'm just going to get, and just bear with me a second, I'm really puzzled as to whether or not my outgoing stream is working or not. It's bothering me enough that I've just got an iPad just to see whether or not I can actually get a stream, and it's kind of beginning to look like I can't. Twitch, it looks like it's not showing me a stream. Come on Twitch, what on earth are you doing today? Thank you Amazon and Twitch, but I don't want the advert. You'll play them okay, won't you? Excuse me guys, whilst I just have a go sorting out what on earth's going on. I am not dropping frames, I'm broadcasting okay. Twitch says I'm offline. Okay, well I'm getting an image from that, so let me just put this somewhere where I can see it. No, that's frozen.